The world is still blue, with early light when I hear it. The first bird call, clear and gentle. It slips through the open window and settles into the quiet room. I pause, holding my breath as if not to disturb it. Another call answers from farther away, softer, almost shy. The sky slowly brightens, turning from gray to pale gold. For a moment, nothing else exists, just the cool air, the faint glow of morning, and that small voice announcing the day.
Morning begins with the sound of wind in the grass and distant wings lifting into the sky.
I step outside, feeling the soil cool beneath my feet.
The land moves at its own rhythm. Traves swaying, insects humming, animals grazing without hurry.
I follow that rhythm, tending small tasks with steady hands and quiet care. Nothing feels separate here. Breath, earth, and sky seem to share the same gentle pulse, and in that stillness, I belong.
The canoe slipped into the water without a sound, as if the lake were holding its breath. Each stroke was a quiet secret, the water quick to forget the touch of my paddle. A pair of ducks kept me company, moving with the lazy grace of the morning itself. I let the canoe glide, rocked by the water's gentle rhythm, a part of the lake's quiet song. We shared the same space, unafraid, a silent understanding in the golden light. Together we drifted into the day, carried forward by the quiet magic of the water.
The sky is still a soft gray. When I step into the kitchen, the world outside feels paused, as if it hasn't decided to wake yet. I light the stove, and the quiet click and flame seem louder than they should be in the early hour. Eggs crack gently into the pan. Steam rises from a kettle, beginning to hum. Through the window, the darkness slowly thins into pale blue, and the first birds test their voices. I move slowly, not from tiredness, but from intention. The room fills with warmth and the simple comfort of beginning. By the time the sun brushes the rooftops with gold, breakfast is ready, and so am I.
It was still warm from the oven, a little piece of the sun given just to me. The air was crisp, and the world felt like it was holding its breath, just to let me savor this moment. It smelled like cinnamon and sweetness, a warm promise from the kitchen. The first bite was a little surprise, warm and sweet, like a secret I didn't know I was waiting for. The world was quiet, just the crunch of leaves and the taste of something perfect. Some days, the smallest things hold the most warmth.
The fire burned low and steady, its light flickering softly against the walls. I sat close enough to feel the warmth on my hands, watching the flames curl and settle around the logs. Outside, night pressed gently against the windows. Inside, everything felt smaller, calmer. Thoughts drifted in without urgency. Memories, small reflections, nothing heavy. I let them come and go like sparks. The room grew quieter as the fire softened. I leaned back, breathing slowly, feeling the warmth settle deeper. For a little while, there was nothing to fix, nothing to chase, only the steady glow of the fire and the comfort of sitting still within it. Morning light slipped quietly into the kitchen, pale and soft, touching the wooden table before reaching the stove. The house was still, holding on to the last of the night's hush. I filled the kettle with cool water from the tap, listening to its steady stream, clear and uncomplicated. A small sparrow had landed on the sill outside, peering through the glass as if curious about the warmth within. I opened a small tin of tea leaves, their scent rising immediately. Earthy, floral, faintly sweet. Outside, the sky was slowly turning from pale gray to a quiet blue. The garden held beads of dew, each one catching the early light. I warmed the teapot, appreciating the small ritual of it. The porcelain felt smooth and comforting in my hands. A faint whistle rose from the kettle. I poured the hot water, and steam unfurled upward in soft spirals, briefly clouding the window. When the steam thinned, the bird was still there, watching the simple act as if it carried significance. In that quiet moment, it did. The river greeted me before I saw it. I heard it first, the low, constant movement of water over stone, a sound that felt older than thought. It grew clearer with each step until the trees opened and the river lay before me, wide and calm, carrying the sky on its surface. I sat and let the air touch my skin. It smelled of wet stone, moss, and something faintly green, like leaves just beginning to open. Sunlight slid across the water. The current moved steadily, confident in its direction. A leaf caught against a stone, then freed itself and moved on. When I lowered my hands in, the cold surprised me gently. Water wrapped around my fingers, flowing past without pause, reminding me it could not be held. The river accepted them without comment. It didn't change its pace. It didn't ask anything of me. It simply continued, and I matched my breathing to its rhythm.
The river is silver in the first light, smooth and quiet as the sky begins to pale. I sit on a cool stone at the water's edge, listening to the soft current slip past. Mist rises in thin threads, drifting over the surface before dissolving into the morning air. A faint warmth touches my face as the sun edges higher. I stay still, letting the gentle rhythm of water and light carry the day in slowly.
I sit without moving as the darkness slowly loosens its hold. The room is quiet, washed in soft gray. Light begins as a thin line along the window, then gently spreads across the floor, touching the walls, warming the air. Shadows retreat without hurry. I don't chase the morning, I simply let it arrive. Slow, steady, and full of quiet promise.
The door closes softly behind me as I step onto the path. The air is cool, carrying the faint scent of earth and morning leaves. The sky brightens in slow shades of gold and blue. There is no rush to arrive anywhere. The day unfolds ahead, wide and patient, and I move into it gently.
The door opens with a soft creak, and dawn air slips in, cool, clean, and quiet. The sky is a pale wash of blue with a thin line of gold resting on the horizon. I take a slow step onto the path. The ground is slightly damp, carrying the scent of night rain and grass. Somewhere far off, a bird calls once, then again. Nothing rushes, nothing demands. Just the steady breath of morning and the quiet comfort of being there to meet it. Morning light spills softly across the yard as I step outside, bucket in hand. The air is cool, carrying the scent of hay and damp earth. They gather slowly, familiar shapes moving toward me with quiet trust. I pour grain into waiting palms and scatter feed across the ground. Feathers rustle, hooves shift. Warm breath brushes against my skin. Move gently, unhurried, feeling the steady rhythm of simple care. In their calm presence, the world feels slower, kinder, and enough. The river greeted me before I saw it. I heard it first, the low, constant movement of water over stone, a sound that felt older than thought. It grew clearer with each step until the trees opened and the river lay before me, wide and calm, carrying the sky on its surface. I sat and let the air touch my skin. It smelled of wet stone, moss, and something faintly green, like leaves just beginning to open. Sunlight slid across the water. The current moved steadily, confident in its direction. A leaf caught against a stone, then freed itself and moved on. When I lowered my hands in, the cold surprised me gently. Water wrapped around my fingers, flowing past without pause, reminding me it could not be held. The river accepted them without comment. It didn't change its pace. It didn't ask anything of me. It simply continued, and I matched my breathing to its rhythm.